What is up, Raveraide fam? Welcome to another episode of the Raveraide podcast with your host, Tyler Hardy. And as always, I just want to take a moment to express my overwhelming love and gratitude for each and every single one of you guys who tune in on a daily and weekly basis to talk about all things Raveraide, personal development, biohacking, spirituality, everything that we encourage you to be involved in here at Raveraide with the main intention to assist you in becoming the most self-loved and self-actualized version of yourself that you can possibly become, because we need you to express your gift and share it with the world, so that way we can make the world a better place. And yeah, hopping into today's episode. Today is October 28th, so tomorrow's my birthday, and just wanted to hop on and just, in advance, thank each and every single one of you guys who support what we do here at Raveraide. It's been the best year of my life, and each year just continues to keep getting better and better in so many ways, shapes, and forms. As I keep developing and improving, life becomes better in every way, and that's what I want for each and every single one of you guys. This podcast is about you as the listener and helping you through my life experiences to become what it is that I know that you're capable of becoming, because I know that we're infinite. And I know that we can have anything that we want in this lifetime, and it's fun to create here. It's fun to be here, and it's amazing to live life at the upper echelons. And I feel like it's just starting for us here at Raveraide and myself and things like that. But I just wanted to thank each and every single one of you guys, because when you guys order our products, when you guys listen to the podcast or read our blogs or anything that you guys do, to support what we're creating here, you're, in a sense, making the world a better place with us. And that's what we really, want. We want to bring more people together. We want to end the division, the separation, the lower vibrational frequencies on this planet. And the way that we do that is by coming together and realizing that we're all one. And, when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself, and I'm speaking to the infinite potential that resides within each and every single one of us. And so the thing that I wanted to talk about is, today I was driving, I'm actually going to drop off some orders in the mail before the weekend, and I realized how much time I've spent in my life not allowing myself to receive love or, recognition or, financial monetary gain, for a number of reasons and a bunch of other things. Like, I've rejected so much of life because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like I deserved it. I felt like I deserved to have struggle, and it was, all the things that I was taught from, my younger years, the things that I was conditioned to was playing out in my life. And over time, as I've gained more awareness and really, dove deep into my spiritual practice, I started noticing the ways in which I was carrying that out in my life. And really one of the big core themes of my human experience that I've had so far is specifically me not allowing good things to come in, me not allowing opportunities to, blossom and, come to fruition. Because when we believe that we're not worthy, we believe that we're not good enough, or, we're taught at a young age, or we were rejected at a young age, we didn't get the love and attention that we needed or deserved, then it sets the tone energetically for our adult life. And if you don't go back and actually consciously look at those things objectively and actually work through those emotions and those traumas, then it's going to keep manifesting itself, because you're the one who's setting the vibrational tone. Even though it's something that may have happened to you as a result of somebody else's shortcomings, it left an imprint on you, and your job is to go back and actually consciously look at those things and really see, quite truthfully, the ridiculousness of that belief system. And that's the realization that I've had, especially when I was driving this morning when I woke up, was how ridiculous is it that I've limited myself and kept myself from so many great opportunities, or not even just allowing myself to fully enjoy the moments that I'm getting to experience in this lifetime. And it made me realize it's we do these things and we limit ourselves and we separate ourselves and create division from what it is that we truly deserve for ourselves for no good reason. And I think that's when you really start getting to the tail end of your healing, or the completion of a core theme, is you start to see how absurd it is that you kept yourself from that greater potential, from a great partner, a great life partner, or a great job or an opportunity, or more money, or better health, or better mental health, or, better relationships and friendships and things like that, you start seeing like, man, like I tolerated this. I actually created and manifested these things unintentionally, but it was unconscious because I decided to push things away. And when you push things away, you're essentially denying a piece of yourself. You're denying what makes you whole. Because again, I'm a huge, advocate and proponent of the law of totality, that we are everything, we are everyone, just experiencing itself and each other in different ways, shapes, and forms, through our unique lens in which we view the world. And so when we deny pieces of ourselves and reject pieces of ourselves and push the things away that are for our highest good, we're essentially rejecting ourselves. And I think a lot of people, especially right now, my generation, younger generations, older generations, like the common theme that I've noticed amongst a lot of people is that there's a lot of like self-rejection. And when you self-reject yourself, you reject other great things from coming in, because you're setting the vibrational tone for what it is that you're wanting to experience or getting to experience, right? So if you don't feel worthy, you're going to push that money away. You're going to push that person away that could be a great life partner. You could push away opportunities, and you could invite in things that, vibrationally are in alignment. And those things may not be, the most conducive things for your health. They may not be the most conducive things for your relationships and opportunities and your full potential. But because it feels in accordance with what you're wanting to, or what you believe you're worthy of, that is what you're going to get. And so when we break down and unpack and deconstruct, those false belief systems, we see how ridiculous they truly are. And as we keep, lightening the load, you start seeing how the universe and how God and how everything is conspiring to create a better life for you, and how much you've actually just kept yourself from that greater life and that greater potential by not working hard, or not being disciplined, or not doing the things that that you should be doing, or not listening to your intuition. And again, that stems back down to feeling of unworthiness, right? If we don't feel worthy of that great life partner, if we don't feel worthy of those great opportunities, if we don't feel worthy of those great friendships, guess what? You're going to manifest mediocrity in your life, and you're going to manifest things that are subpar for what you came here to experience. And that's the difference between people who get what they want in life and people who don't, is their belief systems. And so it's really important to know that, like, you have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to allow these things to come in. And this is something that I've dealt with for a long time. Even when I was really young, I would always not like my own birthday. And I was like, why do I not like my own birthday? Like, why do I push that away? And it's because I didn't feel worthy of the love. So what I would do is I would push away or push against it and reject that. And if you keep doing that for long enough, then the universe isn't going to waste the energy and the effort to keep trying to do that. We have to be allowing of these things to come in. We have to be allowing of these quality relationships and, our dream job, or a good life partner, or whatever it is that, would make you feel whole and complete, or of your greatest potential. We have to allow those things in and not get in our own way. And so that's a big part of it, is the healing process, and, the journey of, hitting self-actualization is really just not blocking yourself from, the infinite potential that you have and the infinite intelligence that you can tap into at any given point. Because when we do that, and we live in identity, when we live in separation, when we live in ego, we are limited. We are only able to do so much. We are, we only see things in the way that, we've been conditioned to see them. But as you start dropping that need for identity, that need for, ego to exist, then you start getting to a place where you start seeing greater potentials and better solutions and different roads and paths on how to get where you want to go in your life. And that applies to all areas and all arenas of life. And so I just want you guys to know that, you have to be really conscious of the fact of, energetically, are you allowing yourself to have these great experiences? Are you allowing, life and creation to work with you? Are you going with the flow of life, or are you swimming upstream against it? And for a long time, I swam upstream against it, because I had this need to do things in my way. And if it wasn't my way, then it didn't work, right? And that really is rooted from ego, the need to, create worthiness, or the need to prove others wrong, or whatever it is, that you're struggling with, and realizing that it's not about that. It's about, working with a greater intelligence to create something far greater than what you could ever imagine. And a lot of that comes down to like working on your worthiness. Like I see, I think in a lot of degrees, like unless you're hyper conscious of it, there's a good chance that you are probably blocking yourself from a greater potential in some way, shape, or form. And that's the cool thing about the life experience is like it's much more of an internal thing than it is an external thing. Contrary to popular belief, the more, like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, like the more that you do internally, the less you have to do externally. Because the more that we become vibrationally light and less dense, the more that we're able to actually start synchronizing with, that greater intelligence that is accessible to each and every single one of us. And we start allowing life to live through us and create through us. And, we become part of the greater whole. And when that happens, we're able to really, reap the benefits of life. We're able to serve others to a greater degree. We're able to serve ourselves to a greater degree. We're able to receive more. We're able to give more. We're able to just be more across the board. And, it's a win-win thing where every single person benefits as a result of that. When you heal yourself, you're healing others, and that's a big part of, why we do what we do here and why we've gone the route that we've gone, where it's like, hey, we want to heal the humans so that way they can heal the planet. They can heal the world. They can step up for people who don't have a voice, who don't have an opportunity to, learn and develop and self-actualize for one reason or another, and, be that voice and be, that champion for, a greater world. And it's one of those things where it's a group effort, even though there's a lot of individual work from each of us that needs to be done, but the more that we step together and end the illusion of division, the more that we're going to be able to step into guidance and start seeing a like more virtuous future for everyone. That is going to be really exciting to see over the years to come. I see all the things that are going on in the world, and it really comes down to the lens in which you see it, right? And this kind of touches back on the worthiness part, right? If you think that you're not worthy, you're going to draw in people and experiences that validate that belief system. And if you feel like you are worthy, then you're going to draw in people and experiences that validate that belief system. And so, again, if you see that the world's falling apart, that's the lens that you're seeing it through. And for good reason, a lot of things are falling apart. But I see that in order for things to get better, things have to fall apart. Broken systems have to be completely demolished and broken and unpacked, so then that way we don't repeat similar mistakes. And so then that way we can step into, a more unified future for everyone. And so, again, that comes down to worthiness, though. So you think of it as a whole, right? If we have, the majority of the planet and the people who live on it who don't think that they're worthy, then the likelihood of that experience happening is much lower. Whereas if you take the time to actually heal, and you take the time to actually self-develop and self-actualize and drop identity and become, infinite in your own right, then the likelihood of that experience happening is much higher, and it's really, it's such an interesting thing. It's because it's like there's individuality involved with it, but there's also at the same time, there's a huge degree of oneness that's happening at the same time that none of us are seeing. Like when you heal, you're not only healing yourself, you're healing future generations, you're healing the people around you. You're healing the planet. Like you're doing so much more than you realize that you're actually doing. And I think if more people saw it that way, they'd be more eager and willing to actually, do those things and heal and look at the truth for what it is and actually accept that truth and integrate that truth. So in that way, they're not living out of alignment with, the design that they created for themselves before they came here. And so that's, again, what we're here to help with, and I think that, companies of the future are going to have a component of helping people self-actualize into better versions of themselves in some way, shape, or form, or they're not going to last, because people want to, there's a massive need and desire for people to connect and identify to companies and causes of the future that actually are here to make things better. And it's because we have that perspective of seeing companies that don't care and companies that really, have built what they built at the expense of the people that support them. Whereas, in the new world that we're going to be living in, it's going to be one of those things where the customers win, the company wins, the planet wins, every single person wins, because everything that's rooted in division, there's separation from the whole. But when we are together and unified as one, we realize that there doesn't have to be any losers. There doesn't have to be someone's expense that it has to come at, and that's the future that I see for everyone. And that's why we're so dedicated to what we're doing here at Raveraide, because it's not about just the product. The product is amazing because of the way that we make it and the way that we create it and the people that work here and do everything at Raveraide the way that we expect, and we know what's fully capable, and truly possible for us. But it's about the consciousness movement. It's about helping you actually become better in whatever way it is that you need help with becoming better, whether that's a belief system, or that's figuring out how to take better care of your health, or that's figuring out how to, look at, challenging situations and seek the truth, as opposed to disassociating and checking out and avoiding, which is something that, I've talked about in previous podcasts. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, like, we want to really hit it from a holistic standpoint of, like, it's not just about your health. It's not just about the mental health. It's not just about spirituality. It's not just about relationships or money or, whatever it is that, people tend to hyperfixate on. It's about everything. It's about being exceptional in every single arena of life, because when we're exceptional in every single arena, we have a great foundation to build great things off of. And so that's pretty much, wrapping up the episode. I think the big thing is just, asking yourself, like, have you ever taken the time to really sit and contemplate upon the fact that maybe you are blocking yourself from a greater potential for no good reason? It may seem like there's a reason, and, in that moment, it may seem valid. And so I'm not trying to discredit what you might be experiencing or thinking, but what I'm getting at here is, what are you keeping yourself from? Are you keeping yourself from, what you truly deserve? And if you are, then, ask the universe, ask God, ask whatever you believe in to show you that experience and show you in which ways you've kept yourself from a greater potential. And then from there, you're able to start consciously observing those things and breaking those down and getting to the root cause of those things and healing those things. So then that way there will be a point one day when you get to, a good place where you're able to consciously observe it and say, oh, that was kind of ridiculous. That was unnecessary that I blocked myself from this experience or this great potential. And as a result of that, I drew in all these experiences that were less than ideal. Then you start seeing that you are the vibrational center point of everything, and that all creation comes from you and reflects back to you. And then from there, the sky's the limit. There's infinite potential for what you could create in your life and in the lives of others. So be sure to check us out. Again, www.drinkraveraide.com. And to give you guys an update, we are working on figuring out which direction to go in with the Liddy Lemonade restock. The next flavor, same thing. We're nearing the end of R&D phase with that. And then we still have the Super Berry in stock at the present moment. We're going to be doing some big deals on Black Friday for you guys. Take care of all the people that have been supporting us from the beginning. We love each and every one of you guys so much. I want to make sure that you guys are taken well care of. But that's pretty much it in regards to updates. We don't have any festivals planned for the rest of the year. I know there's a lot of Halloween Fest going on right now, and then EDC Orlando and Dream State, and then Decadence. But at present moment, we're really focusing on just kind of getting things ready for 2023. Just because we genuinely find a lot of pleasure in just being able to make sure that we take good care of you guys and the product is, at tip-top shape, and we're seeing progress inside of the business. It really brings a lot of joy and fulfillment for the team and I. So we really have been putting a lot of time and effort into that and making sure that, next year is even more successful than last year and vice versa. So that way we can just keep, growing upon the foundation that we're building here. So again, as always, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And if there's anything that we can do, be sure to reach out. Just because, we're building this for you guys. We're building it for the community. We're building it for the world. We're building it for the planet. So then that way we can all win and, live that fully self-actualized and self-love life that each and every single one of us deserves. So without further ado, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day. We'll talk soon. Peace.